Hey, you bit Steve from the old Yorkshire Geek, and a bit of Star Wars news now, Star Wars gaming news. But before we start, let's have an intro. Right, I'm back. So, this is from The Gamer, is it? Yes, The Gamer. As usual, links in the description down below. And don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell. If you're subscribed already, I'm also on Rumble and Spotify and Amazon Music Podcasts and Google Podcasts. You'll also find me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Links are in the description, as I have links to my 2 books. You know what's coming when I lean down to pick them up. Silent Predator, a short horror novella about big cats running around North Yorkshire doing, eating people, basically. And Mercury Rapids, a light-hearted sci-fi action-adventure about UFOs and adventures and aliens and invasions and comets and the moon and all this amazing stuff. It's all just a bit of fun. Don't expect much. Right. So here we go. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Might not fit on a disc. Requires a download. That's the big news. I think I've seen Star Wars Theory talking about this, and he didn't seem very bothered by it, but it kind of irked me, so let's have a look at the news. There we go. This is from, as I said, The Gamer. Did I say it? I don't know, I'm saying now. This is from The Gamer. Star Wars, spelling mistake already. Jedi Survivor might not fit on the disc, requires a download, and there's a screenshot. Is that from this one or the first one? I don't know. I never finished the first one. I know I've told this story before because I'm crap at games. Right, Star Wars Jedi Survivor is going to be a huge game, literally. We already know it will be 155 gigabytes on PC, and it's being reported that it's around 140 gigabytes on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. Now it looks like it's too big to fit on discs and will have to be at least partially downloaded online before playing. That's the trouble with games nowadays. Remember the PlayStation 1? I know that the games fitted on a 650 megabyte CD, but each level was 2 megabytes, because that's all the memory that the PlayStation 1 had. Now look at them. But yes, they do look nicer these days. Anyway, I'm an old fart, I know. This comes as a store shares images of their Jedi Survivor stock, giving us a proper look at the official box art. In small print, fans have spotted a disclaimer that reads "Download required." Given that other games don't come with this warning, it doesn't seem that this is referring to downloading data from the disc, instead implying that players will have to make sure they're connected to the internet before playing. This comes on a day when I was just talking to my son. He was talking about downloading games, and he prefers downloading games. And I said to him, but it's better to have the physical media, because what if you pay for a game and download it from, say, Sony or Microsoft or whatever, and they suddenly decide not to have it anymore on their servers. You delete the game off your console, and then you can't download it again because they've got rid of it. So there you go. That's the danger, isn't it? Just scanning through my library, the only game case I can find, this chap, not me, is Rhiannon Bevan. Oh, bless her. I presume it's a her, anyway. Just scanning through my library, the only game case I can find with a similar warning is the Spyro Reignited trilogy on PS4, which my son has. This is because the game launched without all of the Spyro games on the disc, with players having to install the rest of the content before they could play. Yeah, you had to download. I think you got like a code or something like that to download one of them. I can't remember which one. With this in mind, it seems incredibly likely that this is the case with Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Right now, that's the only information we have to go on. It's not clear how much, if any, of the game can be played without this download, but given how bulky the game is, we were all in for a long wait regardless. Developer Respawn Entertainment doesn't seem to have commented on the matter just yet, and here is the image. I know that's not a very good image. It does say it's there, but I can show you anyway. Just let me move it up, and I'll show you. A close-up. There we go. It says there, download required. And tiny little writing just above the M. Download required. So what does that mean? Does that mean it just needs to connect to the internet, you know, for some sort of, you know, verification, or is it like just part of the game needs to be downloaded from the internet because it's too big to fit on one disc? I don't know. But anyway, let's get back to this article. As this discovery spreads, some fans are even worrying that there will be no disc in the case at all, just a download code. I mean, that could be the case with that particular disc, couldn't it? However, it has to be that particular case. However, it has to be said that this is pretty unlikely, because you do get them sometimes with. Oh, see if I can find one. Hang on. Let's see if I can get this out. With games like for the Switch, the Nintendo Switch. There you go. Like this one. The Carnival game. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Carnival Games. And if you look, it says down there. Can you see it? Hang on. Can you see? It says, anyway, it says there, download code only. I don't know if it's focused. I can't really tell. Tiny little thing. It says download code only. Like I said, I bought this from the supermarket. And the disc, it didn't come with a card. Switch games are on SD cards. Didn't come with a card. It just came with a download code for you to download the game to play. But other games, well, I'm going to put that's in there. But other games such as this one, Monster Hunter Rise, Sunbreak, has the card inside. Just for an example there, Anyway, put them back. Not that I ever played the bloody Switch. I got it for my son, Monster Hunter Rise. He likes that. So I got the Switch for him, but he didn't like it because it was different. That's what happens when you live with an autistic adult. Where were we? Just a download code, that's where we want it. However, it has to be said that this is pretty unlikely. It would come as such a great disappointment to fans that it would be wild for publisher EA to not at least give fans a heads up and get the backlash out of the way. By the way, it's PS5. I'm going to say it's not the PC version. Excuse me. Yet it is strange that whoever made this decision didn't instead opt to ship the game with multiple discs. I mean, if it's 140 gigabytes, it's going to have to be on multiple discs, surely. I know they can, you know, pack data in, and when it installs, it like unpacks it, so it's a much bigger size on the hard drive than it is on the disc. You know, through, you know, what they call it, compression and that, doesn't it? But I don't know. But because a Blu-ray disc will only hold 50 gigabytes, and that's a dual layer one. So if it's 140, it'd need at least 3 discs, wouldn't it? But anyway. Where were we? I forgot where we were. Anyway, I'll start again. It would come as such a great disappointment to fans that it would be wild for publisher EA to not at least give fans a heads up and get the backlash out of the way. Yet it is strange that whoever made this decision, I just read that, but didn't instead opt to ship the game with multiple discs. Larger games, it's getting late here now. What time is it? It's 10 to 11 at night, so... Larger games have done this for some time, often having one disc dedicated to the download and another one for actually playing the game. Well, not the download. There's a play disc and a data disc usually, or sometimes they call it an install disc. But you need one of the play discs to actually play the game, you know, for the verification thing. But it essentially just installs the whole game onto the console. And you just need the disc in just to verify that you own it, don't you? That's all that's for. Another one that's playing the game. Heck, we even did this in the olden days, the 1990s, albeit while having to swap the discs over when we reached a certain point in the story. Remember the old days of... I suppose you still do. I don't play a lot of PC games these days because my PC is not super powerful and it's not very good at playing games. But you used to go around looking for no CD cracks, didn't you? So you could put that in so you didn't have to faff about with the discs. Anyway, albeit while having to swap the discs over when we reached a certain point in the story. Admittedly, I don't think many of us would welcome that with Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Whatever the reason, Xbox Series S players are coming out of this on top. The game will take up just 44 gigabytes on Series S, so that easily fits on a Blu-ray. But the Series S doesn't have a drive, does it? It downloads it. making up for the poorer performance. So I don't know. I thought the Series S were the same as the X, except it didn't have a disc drive, Blu-ray drive. I don't know. Maybe it's rubbish. I don't know. But yeah, that's a lot smaller, isn't it? 44 gigabytes. Is it coming out for the PS4 as well? So do you think that'll be a similar size? Could be, couldn't it? But I don't know. But there you go. Anyway, Jedi Survivor, which I probably won't be getting unless I get it on a discount when it's been out a while. Because I never finished the first one, to be honest. I got bored with it and stuck. So I'm rubbish at games. But it was a bit too much. Use the Force to stop this thing moving so you can jump across. And if you get it wrong, you die and you've got to start again, and stuff like that just annoys me because as I said, I'm rubbish at games and I'm not very good at things like that. And I'm slow and old. But yeah, it's very interesting that you could buy a game. It's not interesting, it's annoying. It annoys me that you can buy a game, spend all that money on the game, on physical media, on a disc, and then you've got to download something as well. So what's that going to say for people that have crappy internet connections or don't have an internet connection at all? Because they might not have. Not everybody does they? Or they could have a console, say, in another room that doesn't have an internet connection. Maybe you've not got Wi-Fi or whatever, and you can't plug it in, but you just get it to play your games. You want to play Jedi Survivor, you can't because you've got to download part of it. I don't know. It sounds a bit rubbish to me. It sounds a bit rubbish. They should start if they're doing it like that, and there's just enough to not fit on the disc. They should start putting it on a little USB drive or something like that. the rest of the game, put that in with the disc, and then but probably they say, that costs too much money. Well, make it smaller then. And then do what other companies do, other publishers include the extra as downloadable content. I don't know. Right, so we'll leave that there. So as I said, it annoys me there's stuff like that. You pay all that money and you don't get the full game. You've got to download the rest of it. And if you haven't got the internet, you're buggered. Right, so thanks for watching, wherever you are. Look after each other, and until next time, I'll see thee in a minute. Bye. Star Trek forever. Hashtag Star Trek Legacy. I know that's nothing to do with Star Wars. What the heck? Might that work? There we go. Yeah, having problems today. I know you can still do it. I know you can still do it in the oldest games.